I like clean air, clean water, clean land. I think we all do. That is, I think we do. But shouldn't caring mean that what we do follows what we care about? Most of us don't act environmentally as much as we care. Why is that? Why would that be? Why is there that discrepancy? I found the answer, and it didn't come from asking that question and thinking the answer. What I found is that everybody has something personal and unique to them. That's what they care about. What they care about environmentally. And when everybody has a different thing that they care about, what feels intrinsic to me feels extrinsic to you. Like I'm telling you what to do. Most people don't like to be told what to do. For example, if I say, the polar ice caps are melting, it's because of fossil fuels. How many people really want to organize a carpool or start walking to work? Or if I say, future generations are going to choke on our plastic, how many people really want to start foregoing takeout? When scientists and politicians think of future goals, they often backsolve to what steps we should do, what we should do. It feels like they're telling us what to do. We often don't like that. I found what works instead is to access and make people feel comfortable sharing what they care about, the thing that motivates them, to make them feel comfortable with that and experience that, and then give them a way to act on it. And when they act on it, it feels inspired, and it feels purposeful, and they often want to do it more. They thank me, as they will thank you when you develop this technique. And what I'm going to do with you today is I'm going to teach you a technique to help people. As far as I know, it's the only technique that moves people who weren't already going to do it from feeling like if I act but no one else does, then what I do doesn't matter, to I'm glad I did this. I like doing this. I'm glad to act on this thing. And I want to share this joy that I'm feeling with others, not deprivation, not sacrifice, not distraction, but joy with others. I'm going to teach that to you. You know, I used to think that carbon dioxide caused global warming. Carbon dioxide is a molecule. It doesn't have any volition of its own. It can't make choices. We can. It reacts to us, to our behavior. And our behavior comes from our beliefs. We can take all the carbon dioxide back to pre-industrial levels, and if we don't change our behavior, we'll simply go back to where we are now because we're growing so much. If we want to change the effects, we have to change the causes. And that's our behavior, and that comes from our beliefs, and that comes from inside. That's where we have to look. It began for me about 4 years ago. I was in my kitchen, and one day I looked down at my garbage, and as if for the first time, I looked at it and thought, that's a lot of garbage. Other people have to deal with this. And it's about what I think the average American produces. I would fill it up about once a week and empty it. But I felt other people have to deal with this. I thought two things. One was, I'm going to do something about this. I can and I'm going to. The other thing was, what am I going to do? I couldn't think of what I would do. I mean, most of it was food packaging. Was I going to eat less? I couldn't really figure it out. I kind of thought, maybe, I wonder if I could go for a week without buying any packaged food. But I didn't really know what to do. And so I started feeling helpless and confused and even shame and guilt. And some people, when they feel feelings that they don't like, they might disengage or withdraw. I did what school taught me to do. I analyzed and I planned and I thought, on first day I'll do this, on second day I'll do that, maybe I'll go a week without packaged food. But I didn't act. I'd fill my head up with all these different thoughts of planning an activity and strategizing. And then the feelings would go away, the feelings that I didn't like. And then I'd go back, then the thoughts would go away, and I'd go back to what I was doing before. And for months and months, every time feelings like that came up, I would start planning and analyzing. The feelings would go away. I'd go back to what I was doing, and nothing changed. Until 6 months later, I thought to myself, this is not, all this planning and analyzing isn't getting me anywhere. If I want to go for a week without packaged food, I can live on rice for a week and not die. It starts right here, right now. And I found what worked was that I chose to act on what I cared about. So I went to the store and I looked on the shelf, and that's in a box, that's in a bag, that's in a can, that's got a sticker, that's got a rubber band. I'm not going to get those. I'm going to see what's going to happen. So what was left? I looked over, there's broccoli, cauliflower, apples, oranges. If I brought a bag with me, I could get dried beans and nuts. And I'd grown up cooking, but never from scratch, and I learned to cook from scratch. I'm not going to lie, at the beginning it was pretty bland. I didn't really know what I was doing. But after a while, as I stuck with it, against my expectations, I found that my food became cheaper, more convenient, more social because I brought people over. In fact, I went to the farm to meet the farmers and grew my food. But most of all, what I want from food more than anything else was my food became more delicious. And because I was acting according to what I cared about, I started to associate acting on my environmental values, acting on what I cared about, with making my life more delicious. And that got me to do more and more. For example, I went from throwing out my garbage once a week, to then twice a week, to then about once a month, once every couple of months. And the last time I emptied my garbage was September. And that time took me 16 months to fill that up. And a lot of people ask me, how do you do that? How did you get rid of stuff? And I can't really tell you all the details.